The press, printing and publication law has received royal praise as one of the most notable results of constructive cooperation between the executive and legislative authorities, embodying the commitment to consolidating freedom of opinion and expression within a framework of national responsibility and professional media. More in this report.
يطيب لنا ونحن نمضي قدما ضمن مسيرتنا التنموية الشاملة أن نعرب لكم عن ارتياحنا لسير العمل المشترك بين السلطتين التشريعية والتنفيذية، وبإشراف مباشر من قبل صاحب السمو الملكي الأمير سلمان بن حمد آل خليفة ولي العهد ورئيس مجلس الوزراء، وما يثمر عن هذا التعاون الذي نقدر فيه جهود الإخوة رئيسي مجلس الشورى والنواب وجميع الأعضاء من إنجازات تشريعية نوعية تلبي التطلعات الوطنية، لتكون من بينها قرب الانتهاء من إقرار التعديلات على قانون تنظيم الصحافة والطباعة والنشر، باعتباره خطوة مهمة تؤكد القيمة الدستورية لحرية الرأي والتعبير في مملكة البحرين، وتعزز المكانة الرفيعة لإعلامنا الوطني بمختلف وسائله.
The speech of His Majesty the King at the opening of the fourth session of the sixth legislative term of the Shura and Representatives Councils underscored the strong cooperation and integration between the executive and legislative authorities as a fundamental pillar of the national work system and an institutional approach based on partnership and coordination in policy making and implementation. The royal praise for the qualitative legislative achievements was the result of this constructive cooperation between the two authorities, as the legislative branch continued its role in preparing and discussing legislation, while the executive branch followed up on the practical implementation of these visions and proposals under the direct supervision of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, ensuring harmony between the two sides and serving citizens and promoting development. In his speech, His Majesty the King praised the nearing completion of the press, printing and publication law as an example of this institutional integration, as efforts have been combined to develop a modern legal framework that keeps pace with developments in the media and balances freedom of expression with a national responsibility, affirming the royal vision of establishing a legislative environment that supports a free and responsible national media. The royal speech reflects the institutional maturity achieved by Bahrain under the leadership of His Majesty the King and embodies the national approach based on constructive cooperation between the two authorities, thereby preserving national gains, promoting comprehensive development, and keeping pace with future aspirations.
Under the patronage of the representatives of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Bahrain Cycling Association, in collaboration with Fa'aliyat Company, is preparing to launch the 5th edition of the Nasser bin Hamad Cycling Tour for amateurs, which will be held from November 5th to November 8th. The tour will feature several races for different categories.
Since the representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, launched the Nasser bin Hamad Cycling Tour for amateurs, the idea has carried a long-term vision that seeks to establish sports as a way of life in Bahraini society and inspire young people to be part of a national movement that believes health and determination are the paths to creativity and success. The launch of the 5th edition of the Nasser bin Hamad Cycling Tour for amateurs is an event eagerly awaited by athletes from within and outside the Kingdom of Bahrain. Thanks to the support of His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad, the tour has become a promising sporting platform for discovering talent and honing skills, as well as a welcoming arena for fair competition that brings together Bahrainis residents and GCC citizens. In its 5th edition, the experience is renewed with even more passion through professional organization jointly undertaken by the Bahrain Cycling Association and Fa'aliyat Company, allowing the tour to continue its role as a national event that brings together sports and tourism and competition and cooperation. Previous editions of the tour have been marked by determination and perseverance, making it a prominent beacon in the world of sports and a source of pride and honor, stemming from the vision of His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa.
Deputy Prime Minister Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa met with member of the Board of Directors of Al-Suruh Management Company and Al-Mabani Company CEO Walid Khalid Al-Shar'an and Bariq Al-Ritash Company Managing Director Dr. Meher Abdelaziz Al-Sha'r. Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah affirmed Bahrain's keenness to continue promoting quality investments that diversify the national economy and expand the partnership with the private sector in a manner that keeps pace with the objectives of the comprehensive development process led by His Majesty the King and the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. The Deputy Premier also pointed out the government's continued interest in creating the conditions for success and growth for major projects, especially in the real estate development sector. Meanwhile, he praised the advanced level of Bahraini-Kuwaiti relations, which embodies the depth and strength of the brotherly and historical ties between the two countries, which represent a successful model of fruitful economic cooperation in various development fields. Sheikh Khalid noted that the Avenues Mall in Bahrain is a prominent example of a successful public-private partnership, showing how government land can be used efficiently to boost economic growth. He commended the mall's prominent position among the kingdom's commercial centers, which enhance its appeal as one of Bahrain's leading commercial and tourist destinations. The Deputy Premier was also briefed on the expansion plans for the Avenues Mall in Bahrain and the region, as well as future projects that the developer intends to implement in the coming phases. For his part, Al-Shar'an expressed gratitude and appreciation to the Deputy Prime Minister for the government's support and facilitation of investment projects. He affirmed the developer's aspiration to enhance its presence in the local market, wishing the kingdom further progress and prosperity. In line with the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al-Zayani, planted a tree at the ministry as part of Tree Week activities. Al-Zayani stressed the importance of the National Afforestation Plan in increasing green spaces and environmental sustainability in the kingdom and spreading community awareness of the need to care for tree planting within the framework of Bahrain's commitment to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. The minister noted the ministry's keenness to support all environmental initiatives and highlight the kingdom's efforts concerned with environmental policies and the protection and preservation of the environment. The initiative supports Bahrain's National Afforestation Plan, which aims to plant 3.6 million trees by 2035 as part of the kingdom's vision to achieve carbon neutrality by 2060. The Minister of Transportation and Telecommunications and Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Bahrain Center for Strategic International and Energy Studies, Dirasat, Dr. Sheikh Abdullah bin Ahmed Al Khalifa, participated in a dialogue session organized by the Bahrain Institute for Political Development as part of its National Pathways program. The minister emphasized that the vision of His Majesty the King provided a solid foundation for modernizing Bahrain's political system, boosting the rule of law, social justice, and sustainable development. He stressed that effective government work led by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister is essential to advancing political and democratic development, institutional integration, transparency, accountability, and efficient governance. Dr. Sheikh Abdullah bin Ahmed noted that His Majesty the King's speech at the opening of the 4th session of the 6th legislative term provides a national roadmap for continued development cooperation between the legislative and executive authorities. He highlighted the constructive cooperation between Dirasat and the Institute in providing decision makers with accurate scientific analyses to enhance political awareness among national cadres. The Minister of Transportation and Telecommunications, Dr. Sheikh Abdullah bin Ahmed Al Khalifa, participated in the ceremony organized by Svitzer to inaugurate the new 2025 model tugboats Svitzer Manama and Svitzer Awal. The vessels are designed to support operational activities at Khalifa bin Salman Port. The minister affirmed that the inauguration of the new tugboats marks an important step towards enhancing the efficiency and reliability of maritime and logistics services in Bahrain. He said the addition of the 2 tugboats reflects the kingdom's commitment to developing its infrastructure in line with international standards in support of Bahrain's Economic Vision 2030. He also noted that this achievement highlights the fruitful partnership between the public and private sectors in developing the maritime transport industry. He said that the government directives focus on building a modern integrated infrastructure that connects Bahrain with global markets. He stressed that investing in new tugboats supports the kingdom's goal of enhancing logistics links with GCC countries, maintaining Bahrain's role as a vital gateway for regional and global trade. The Minister of Transportation and Telecommunications, Dr. Sheikh Abdullah bin Ahmed Al Khalifa, received the Saudi Deputy Minister of Transport and Logistics Services and Acting President of the General Authority for Transport, Dr. Rumeh bin Mohammed Al Rumeh. The Minister of Transportation affirmed Bahrain's keenness to boost fraternal relations and strategic partnership with Saudi Arabia. He noted that the strong historical ties between the two countries embody the visions of His Majesty the King and the custodian of the 2 holy mosques, as well as the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia and Prime Minister. The 2 sides also reviewed development and strategic projects, which included updates on the King Hamad Causeway project, the GCC Railway project, the Unified System for International Land Transport between GCC countries, enhancing maritime links between ports and coordination between the 2 countries in the International Maritime Organization. Dr. Sheikh Abdullah bin Ahmed affirmed the keenness to ensure the success of land and sea connectivity projects between the 2 countries and to enhance partnership in the development of logistics services. For his part, Al Rumeh expressed pride in the development of bilateral relations, praising Bahrain's efforts in developing infrastructure and enhancing strategic connectivity between the 2 countries. The 2 sides toured the port of Saada and Masar fleet to see the latest maritime and commercial equipment and services. The Minister of Legal Affairs and Acting Minister of Labour, Yusuf Khalaf, participated in the 6th session of the Islamic Conference of Labour Ministers held in Qatar. The conference was attended by Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, Hussein Taha, alongside labour ministers from member states and representatives of relevant Islamic and international organizations. The minister emphasized the importance of strengthening joint cooperation among Islamic countries in the fields of labour and human resource development, as well as supporting comprehensive development plans that contribute to achieving the aspirations of these countries. On the sidelines of the conference, the minister also participated in the meeting of GCC labour ministers. In line with the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, the Ministry of Electricity and Water Affairs and the Electricity and Water Authority participated in 3-week activities in the presence of Minister of Electricity and Water Affairs Yasser Hamidan and the EWA's Vice Presidents. The initiative supports Bahrain's National Afforestation Plan, which aims to plant 3.6 million trees by 2035 as part of the Kingdom's vision to achieve carbon neutrality by 2060. The Minister of Health, Dr. Jalila Hassan, participated in the opening of the 72nd session of the World Health Organization, the WHO Regional Committee for the Eastern Mediterranean, held in Cairo, with the participation of health ministers and representatives of member states. The minister emphasized Bahrain's commitment to supporting collective health efforts at the regional and international levels and to boosting cooperation in addressing global health challenges. She noted that Bahrain places great importance to advancing its healthcare system and improving the quality of health services in line with the Sustainable Development Goals. The opening session included the remarks by the chair of the previous session, the WHO Regional Director for the Eastern Mediterranean and the WHO Director General, who addressed the current health challenges and opportunities to enhance joint action. The first day also included discussions on public health emergencies in the region, polio eradication efforts and issues related to governance and budgeting. In line with the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, the Minister of Cabinet Affairs, Ahmed Al-Malki, participated in National Tree Week activities. Al-Malki praised His Royal Highness for launching the National Tree Week activities, emphasizing that this initiative reflects Bahrain's unwavering commitment to sustainable development and highlights growing awareness of the importance of preserving the environment to achieve its desired environmental goals. He also noted that the ministry attaches special importance to initiatives and projects with an environmental dimension, as they are a pivotal element in supporting the sustainable development process and enhancing quality of life. In line with the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, the Minister of Housing and Urban Planning, Amna Rumehi, participated in National Tree Week activities. She emphasized that afforestation is a pivotal element in sustainable urban planning, given its key role in supporting environmental balance within modern urban communities, enhancing biodiversity in cities and increasing green spaces. Rumehi explained that the ministry will continue to support the afforestation plan in line with Bahrain's commitments to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change. She emphasized that this initiative represents a practical step toward providing an integrated and healthy residential environment. The minister also praised the effective partnership with private sector institutions and civil society initiatives, which have contributed to supporting afforestation projects across Bahrain's governorates. In line with the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, the Minister of Sustainable Development and Chief Executive of Bahrain Economic Development Board, Noor Al-Khlaif, participated in tree-week activities by planting a tree marking the event. The Minister praised His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister for launching Tree Week and his directives to organize a competition in irrigation solutions to encourage creative and innovative ideas. She noted that Tree Week promotes the principles of environmental sustainability and supports the afforestation plan, thereby contributing to increasing green spaces. The initiative supports Bahrain's National Afforestation Plan, which aims to plant 3.6 million trees by 2035 as part of the Kingdom's vision to achieve carbon neutrality by 2060. In line with the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, the Minister of Tourism, Fatma Al-Sarafi, participated in tree-week activities by planting a tree as part of the Ministry of Tourism and Bahrain Tourism and Exhibitions Authority's participation in the national event. The initiative supports Bahrain's National Afforestation Plan, which aims to plant 3.6 million trees by 2035 as part of the Kingdom's vision to achieve carbon neutrality by 2060. The Minister of Information, Dr. Ramzan bin Abdullah Al-Nuaimi, participated in 3-week activities by planting trees at the Ministry's complex in Isa Town in the presence of the Ministry's Under-Secretary Yusuf Muhammad Ibn Khalil, National Communications Center CEO Ahmed Khalid Al-Orefi, and a number of media professionals. The Minister noted that the initiative affirms the keenness to boost national efforts aimed at establishing a culture of environmental conservation through commitment to approved standards and the application of responsible practices to support the sustainability of natural resources and contribute to Bahrain's commitment to achieve carbon neutrality by 2060. He praised the directive of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister to launch the innovation competition in irrigation solutions. He also emphasized the important role played by the media in supporting national plans aimed at raising community awareness of the environmental issues and conserving resources. In line with the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, the Minister of Education, Dr. Mohammed bin Mubarak Juma, participated in National Tree Week activities by planting trees at Arad Primary Boys School. He praised His Royal Highness for launching National Tree Week activities for the second year in a row and His Royal Highness's directive to hold an innovation competition for irrigation solutions with the aim of encouraging creative ideas and solutions. He noted that the Ministry attaches great importance to spreading the culture of agriculture and afforestation in the educational field by allocating educational gardens in various schools and implementing agricultural education at all levels. The Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Works, Engineer Sheikh Mish'al bin Muhammad Al Khalifa, confirmed that the North Isa Town Junction development project reached an advanced stage following the completion of the bridge foundations and pillars. Speaking during a field visit where he briefed attendees on the ongoing work, the Under-Secretary noted that the project is part of a series aimed at enhancing the efficiency of the road network, achieving better traffic flow and connecting a number of vital areas in the kingdom, including Rifa', Ali, Sanad, Salmabad and Isa Town. He added that the project will increase the intersection's capacity to more than 160,000 vehicles per day upon completion, which will contribute significantly to reducing traffic congestion, especially on Sheikh Salman Street, which connects the capital, northern and southern governorates. The President of the Asian Football Confederation, Sheikh Salman bin Ibrahim Al Khalifa, chaired the 7th AFC Executive Committee meeting held in Riyadh ahead of the 2025 AFC Annual Awards Ceremony. Sheikh Salman bin Ibrahim underscored the AFC's commitment to supporting national and regional football associations, highlighting football's role in uniting and inspiring nations. Sheikh Salman bin Ibrahim congratulated Qatar and Saudi Arabia on qualifying for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. He also expressed solidarity with member associations facing challenges. In its first session of the 4th regular annual session of the 6th legislative term, the Council of Representatives affirmed the legislative authority's commitment to monitoring the development of the mechanism for implementing legislative and oversight duties in the best interests of the nation and its citizens. The Council's second regular session following the opening of the 4th session of the 6th legislative term exemplifies the principle of partnership in decision-making. The Speaker of the Council praised His Majesty the King's directive initiatives and efforts to provide job opportunities for citizens. The Council approved the formation of permanent specialized committees, discussed government letters regarding decree laws, draft laws and audited financial statements for the Unemployment Fund, and approved proposals for inclusion on the agenda. These sessions serve as a national platform to express the voice, will and aspirations of the people, transforming their voice into visions and legislation that promote public interest. The spirit of participation and national responsibility is evident, consolidating cooperation between the two authorities and building a prosperous future for Bahrain.